Think about getting sober? Great. I'm sober and I love it. So I would not go back, but it's taken some work, and learning how to stay sober is way harder than getting sober. And I remember when I was in treatment and my counselor, I was like walking by the hall and I was in a pink cloud, and she's like, having a good day? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, great. Well, because not drinking anymore is the easy part. And I was like so shocked that it was going to get harder. And I was like, oh, like so bummed out. But it did help prepare me for the fact that like the removing the alcohol part was actually easier. It was changing my whole life and my behaviors and not being a dry drunk anymore. That was the hard part. That was the hard work. And so yeah, that she kind of burst my bubble a little bit there, but it's good. So in Alcoholics Anonymous, in recovery, they do the 1 month chips, which is great. And I just remember like looking forward to that like so much in early recovery. And the first year is the hardest. Like most people fail in the first year. And so there's not, and then like for me, I wanted to make it, like I really wanted to make it so bad. I wanted to get through. And I guess I was just actually convinced that like, okay, well, if I go back out drinking, I'm going to be in the same spot that I was when I left off. And that's what they say. They say, imagine your last day drinking. That's what you're going to be back at when you start drinking again. And so, I was pretty much like face down in the bathtub. And so like, I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't make it long if I started drinking again. And I don't really want to go back to that because like, I'm the kind of person that I would, if I drank, I would go get probably 3 6-packs, a pack of smokes, cancel everything, hide, and then just start drinking and not stop drinking. Like, I wouldn't just go grab a few drinks. I don't think so. And I've heard stories like where people like have like, they just kind of started again and they picked up, but they were like within months, they were back drinking like the way that they were. And then there's also stories of like people getting sober and then going back and drinking and dying and like not coming back or staying out drinking. And it's like, they're not ending up in good situations. Like it's like streets or not, job to job. Like it always causes so much destruction and like self-destruction and stuff. So I had heard these stories and especially like being in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, like listening to all the relapse stories, listening to people that go back out, watching people die, not making it and doing all that work and then having to restart. Like for me, I didn't want to restart. I wanted to start and continue and achieve sobriety. And so far, so good. But I've been doing what they say. Like I got a home group. I go to all the meetings. I've been very consistent with my meetings. I just went, I'm either going to sign up for this or I'm not. Like, and so I was like, if I just do all these things, then I will get sobriety. So to me, that made sense. Like I was like, I can do all these things and have sobriety. And the thing that helps me the most is that because I do all of those things, it doesn't make it as hard. Like I have the support. I go to my meetings to feel good. I talk on the phone to help feel good. Like I get through this with people, with the program, with my higher power, with the home group, with doing the step work. Like it takes all that action for me to stay sober. It takes all that action to learn how to get my peace, learn how to respect myself and love myself. Like I'm completely learning a new way of life here. And I wasn't really living a proper life before, but I thought I was because I was a high functioning alcoholic. So I could still go to work. I worked so hard. And I I was living my life and very carefree and just for me. And so I got to get away with drinking for a long time until I couldn't get away with it anymore. And I think that just the demise of my marriage did help me push to that bottom. Like one of my counselors said, like, that marriage brought you to your bottom. Like it got you there. So I got to get better because I already was an alcoholic before that happened. But that big problem there, like that thing that wasn't working out, it drove me to the depths of my drinking. And then I decided to change and get help. So in the first year, what happens is I got through all my chips, and they have this, like it's frowned upon to have the 1 month chips, and it's frowned upon to have first year cakes. But when I was getting sober, it was one of the things that I thought about a lot was like my first year cake and oh, it's so cool. Like I want to get my first year chip, and it was just like a reward, a medallion, a good job. Like, with so many failings that I was dealing with, so many losses by getting sober. Like there's so many losses in the beginning that I have to grieve and get over and let go of. And so much change happening, which I'm not used to change. I'm used to doing what I want when I want and not feeling things. So the 1 month chips and the 1 year cake was just something good to add to my life, something good to look forward to, and something to reach for. And then when you're in the rooms and people are getting their 1 year cakes and you're just like, wow, look at them go. It's so encouraging. Like I just found that helped in my recovery so much. And then like thinking about the 1 year cake, and then when the 1 year cake started to get closer, I really started, there was like this weird evaluation time that started up. And I just looked at my year. I looked at my life. Like there was so much contemplating that was happening and reflection that was taking place in myself before my 1 year cake. And what hard work to get through 1 year of sobriety without any relapses. To get through 1 year of sobriety is tough stuff. Like it's exciting, but it's a huge life change. And so I really needed to stay connected. Like I stayed in the middle of the herd. I wanted to be connected. I wanted to win. I wanted to be sober. And so I did all the things. But going to planning and looking at my 1 year cake coming gave me so much incentive and joy. And then you have your 1 year cake and it's like your day. And so my clean day is April 10th because you can't have any drugs or booze on your day. So I went to treatment. I went to treatment drunk and puking. So my clean day didn't start till the next day after treatment. But that's my special day. Like that's the day that I mark that achievement in each year after that. And years are celebrated a lot in recovery. Like if you got 20 years, you got 15 years, you got 5 years, like we're always celebrating recovery, and we're always celebrating newcomers who come in to do their 1 month chips. And then you get your first year cake, you get your 1 year medallion. And I remember just feeling so proud of myself for achieving that, because I had felt so guilty and shameful for being an alcoholic. Like I was dealing with a lot of shame in the beginning, and that contributed to me rushing and trying to fix my life as fast as possible because I was feeling so ashamed. And as I built myself up and like as people loved me through all that, my shame started to go away. I was a sick person. That's not who I am. I was a person that was sick and grieving and hurting and losing the loss of my family, like my marriage was over. All I wanted my whole life was like have kids and a family and marriage. And so my expectation and my dream was also lost at that time. I was grieving that in early recovery. And so to look forward to this cake was cool. And I remember the day came, so they'll usually just put your first year cake day on the next, like the meeting weekend closest to whatever day. It's not always on the day that is the day. So that happens, and then somebody gives you your cake and somebody gives you your chip. And you usually pick two special people that have been helping you in your journey. And that could usually be like a sponsor or a good friend. Or if that isn't the case, you can just have someone that's chairing that day or that's in the room that's maybe a good acquaintance. Like not everybody's really social. So, but first year cakes are really cool. And it also helps like other people to see people achieve those first year cakes. I know when other people were celebrating their first year cakes, to be a part of their celebration and to support them as they go through this made a difference in my own recovery. And I wanted to show up to be there to give that support. It gave me a chance to help be supportive and look forward to this. And then when it was my turn, I was just like, it was so much. I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed by love. I just felt so special. It was like, I felt like a princess that day. I went up there to get my first year cake and I bought like this nice pants dress, and it was white and flowy. And I just, to be sober, to be not hungover anymore, to be getting my life back together, to have made it a whole year without drinking was such an achievement. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it was such an achievement. And then I had lots of people show up for my cake. And I think because lots of people knew that I had a hard year. And because I was a single mom with two little kids, and it was really hard to get sober being a single mom. I think that's hard work to be doing the momming and try not to drink with two toddlers. My kids were just turned 2 and 3 at the time. And my one son was autistic. So I was dealing with all this, getting him in the program stuff, and doing court stuff, so many things that could have took me out of my first year. So I was overwhelmed by the support that day, and I was overwhelmed just with my own happiness and achievement and being like, wow, I did it. I can do things. I can get sober. It's possible. And now what can I do with my life? Now I don't have this thing that's dragging me down, that's working against me, that's my higher power. I don't, now I actually have a higher power of my understanding. I don't have alcohol as my higher power anymore. I don't have to pay for all that. I don't have that $2,000 expense every month. What was I thinking? And everything that went into that boozing, the hangovers, the medications to feel better the next day, if the smoking, the vicious, the alcohol needed more things than just the alcohol. I needed the time to get, it took so much time out of my life. It stole time. I became free of all that garbage and had the chance to move on. And so my first year cake, and I had these, one person come in after another, and not much of a crier, and more people just kept coming in, and I just started welling up with tears. And this sounds really cliche, but tears of joy. And I'm just wow, how nice to feel that. I came from such a place of feeling so unloved. I felt like dirt in the beginning. Like in the beginning of recovery, I just felt like low of lows. Like I was embarrassed of my life. I was embarrassed of everything. And I was overwhelmed with how I'm going to fix it all. But with me and my higher power, he's been building with me. I've been working at it. And the goal is to just stay in the day. And so staying in that day, sometimes staying in that moment, and then giving myself that support to get through was possible. Like I got through it, and I would never go back, which is so great. But the first year cake, special day, I had this old man come up to me and shake my hand, and he was just like, "You never forget your first cake." And he's just like such a sweet old man, and he had like 40 years or something. And I just thought that was so special. Like, I had other people give me some of their special chips, and it's just like, it's a chance for everybody to celebrate recovery. It's not always doom and gloom. You know, those first year cakes are celebratory. It's connection, it's people, it's community working together to fight against addiction and loving each other. And like, we are flock animals. Like I need people. And in recovery, I get people. And then I learn how to love myself again. I learn how to put myself together. And I just have so many fond memories of my first year cake and appreciate that thing that they do. And I know it's like frowned upon, but it's just, it made a difference in my recovery. Let's say that. Like, if there was no chips in 1 year cakes, yay, I'm sober again today. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's almost like I needed to see the ladder, right? Like, there's 12 months in a year, and you're going 1 month after another of like trying not to drink, trying to put recovery first. Life is happening. You have no alcohol anymore. Like, 1 month is like a long time in hard work in first year recovery, you know, and it is a time when people go back out. And so it's like, when I see those like 1 month chips, and then I'm seeing my 1 year cake down the road, I'm like, that's like my first 12 steps, my ladder. Every month they do a step in the rooms. Like, that's the first year I can see myself climb and reach for it. And I need that support. I need that vision. I need that goal. And that really helped me. Like, and it brought joy. Like, in times when I didn't have a lot of joy, you know, I was still in so much self-pity in that first year, and I was grieving and miserable. Like, it was harder to be happy because I didn't have all the gifts of recovery yet. I was just learning the tools, and I just saw still everything was against me in first year recovery. So it was awesome to have, and I got so much support, and I loved being able to support others going through their journey and getting their 1 year cakes. And it's such a special time. So I love 1 year cakes, and it was worth going that whole year without drinking. And I'm still sober today. I still continue on, and they don't do the month chips after 1 year. You just go to a yearly chip every year after that. So yeah, that's the inside scoop on what those first year cakes look like. And if you relapse, you can restart, and you can still get another 1 year chip again down the road. So people do it differently. But yeah, it's something to look forward to. It made a difference in my life, in my recovery. And I'm really grateful for it because I got so many good memories of that. And it did help add to loving myself and feeling so supported by the community. So yeah, and having people go up there and say such great things about you, like, totally helps build my self-esteem and confidence and love and security. Like, those are all things I needed because I didn't have all that before pre-recovery. So yeah, first year cakes are awesome. So thank you guys for being here. And yeah, thank you so much.